started?
Yeah, yeah.
Great, great. So this is the operations document for the BCCT process. Naren, as you requested, I've documented the knowledge transfer session. Anthony, I'm going to add you to this screen before I finalize the document. Here's the table of contents. There are slides around each one of these areas, and we'll go through each one of those. So, of course, this is just the introduction and the goals, and this comes directly from the overview document that's on the SharePoint. So nothing new here. This is an existing process and an existing document. This is the scope and presentation, the details and the scope, just saying that the cadence right now is monthly. Naren, as you know, we do supplemental meetings as you determine we need them, but from a process perspective, it's a monthly meeting that's 1 hour in duration. And so we have the scope here, which includes formal and informal gated projects. And we also have identified the exceptions to this process. And then we say that the presenters are the PMs and GMs. And as we all know, it's the PM if a PM is assigned. A PM is not always assigned at this stage of the project, but if the PM is assigned, they're expected to participate in this presentation. And they should be prepared to speak for about 10 or 15 minutes related to the details in the meeting materials. And so they should speak to the outcomes and the impact and specifically to the outcomes and impact and to the business case financial. So here is the meeting preparation, how they get on the agenda. Typically what happens is they send an email to the IT EPMO mailbox, and we really need to discourage people. They have adopted a practice of emailing me directly, and I'll try to start dispersing that and asking people to email the inbox so that everybody has visibility, you know, if someone's out of the office or whatever. So usually what happens is they send an email saying that, hey, I am developing a business case and want to be on a particular agenda. And so in the data preparation, I have linked to the tools and templates folder so that they have access to all the templates. And Naren, I've included this excerpt here about the functional area experts that should have visibility to the business case so they can provide input to functional requirements, a cost impact, so that they can fully develop the business case. And then we begin to prepare the meeting. The target is that they should prepare their business case for review a month in advance. This thing we have with last minute, and then their business cases are not fully developed. So the target is that if you have something you want to present in June, you should be preparing it in May. So this is an overview of the meeting facilitation. It should be from a full license. Lisa Bury is Zishan's admin, and she helps us find time on Zishan's calendar for scheduling. The meeting materials right now are in Microsoft Word format. And so what we do, and I copied you guys on the email yesterday. Arthi, I can't remember if I copied you. I might have sent this when I thought Anthony was going to be doing this, but if not, I will resurface that email so you have a copy. But what happens is we request scheduling for a quarter in advance. So for example, this week, excuse me, as an example, I coordinated the Q3 meeting scheduling with Lisa. So meeting every month in Q3. What she does is she looks at Zishan's calendar and she says either yes, he's good to go for those requested meeting dates, or we find an alternate time slot. So you get that feedback from Lisa, and what we will do today is I'll show you, and I did not schedule them yesterday because I wanted to do it while we were all on the call. how the meetings are scheduled from the IT EPMO mailbox. So when the BCCT meeting is concluded, at the end of the meeting, emails with voting buttons are sent by the team. And I have examples of those communications in this deck.
Okay.
So here is the current list of the BCCT meeting attendees. And you'll see in this column, so just let me mention, Zishan's vote is really the only vote you need to progress a project or to initiate a project or to release project funding. So if Zishan's vote is the only vote you get, you're good to go. But if you get all these other voting members' responses, but you don't have Zishan's, funding cannot and should not be released without Zishan's explicit approval. And that email, and you'll see a copy of it as well, that email is leveraged to send to the financial team. That's what the cost controller uses to get the funds released. So that's really the big email we have to have. And you'll note that these individuals listed as voting members, that's who the e-vote goes to, the voting members and Zishan. The other members are simply meeting attendees. You send the meeting invitation to everyone, but you send e-votes to these people. And then other meeting attendees includes operations support members, and then whoever's presenting the business case. You pull that full team off of the business case document and you send the meeting invitation to that team.
So one clarification here, Salita, can you go back to the slide, please?
Sure. Oops, sure.
So the email that goes with an e-vote is one email that includes all these voting members, including Zishan, correct?
Yes, the e-vote goes to the approval authority and the voting members only. Remember, okay. Naren, it used to go to all of these people, and then we changed it.
Yeah.
Identified the voting members. Right.
So what is the, now I just want to bring the clarity to Anthony and Aarti. So what is the purpose of sending it to the members when authority is only Zishan to approve it? Is it to collect their observations, or is it, what is the purpose?
Yes. Yes. Usually Zishan likes to have, he doesn't want to be the only eyes on an initiative, I'm sure. So these voting members will say, yes, I approve, or they may have observations and ask for clarity. And you see that, Naren, all the time. We get SC members that say, hey, what about this or what about that? So we send the e-vote, we get any of those observations, we don't follow up with Zishan unless all observations are clear.
So how long we keep waiting? Let us say somebody has no observations, but he has not approved through the e-vote. How long you will wait?
So I have those response times, the expected response times in slides later on, so that you can see how long we wait and how long we send a follow-up. I have all of that documented. And if you want to change those times, we can do that in this deck.
Yeah, no. See, because every point of the thing, we just wanted to see that whoever sends this e-vote, how long they have to wait before following up with Zishan. That's what I was trying to bring the clarity here.
And I have that in the slide. And if you want to change parameters, we can update it in this deck.
That's okay. Yeah, keep going. Good. Thanks.
So here is the email with the voting buttons is sent to capture approval or deferral, and you'll see an example again of the email in a later slide. There'll be one email per initiative distributed within 1 day of the BCCT meeting. So if we have the BCCT meeting, sometimes we don't have it until 3 or 4 o'clock. You want to send that email out the very next day at the latest. If responses have not been received within 3 days of original distribution, will distribute a follow-up email reminding, and this should be voting, BCCT members of open requests. If responses have not been received within 2 days of the follow-up email, we communicate the missing approval responses to Rich Britton for escalation. So now it's Naren, and then it goes to Rich. So that's our escalation path.
Okay.
So this is the original BCCT process flow, and the reason I kept this in is so you can see what has changed in the updated process. But here's the revised process. We don't do reviews anymore. We simply collect the documents, we distribute the meeting invitation with the materials, and move to the BCCT meeting. We don't do all the document reviews that we used to. So you have this updated flow in this deck. And then we have our special cases, the out-of-cycle EVO process for emergent initiatives. And again, we don't do all of these reviews. They simply approve so they submit an effort and say, hey, I have an emergency initiative that I need, a special case that I need out-of-cycle e-voting for. Naren approves that, yes, we're going to move forward with the e-vote. We don't do all of these reviews. We simply distribute the business case to the voting BCCT members. They review and respond, and we have a flow for if yes, we communicate approval, and if no, the demand is updated in SNO. It does not go to the BCCT meeting. What happens is the BCCT meeting agenda is updated just to notify the SLT members that, yes, we had out-of-cycle voting and it was approved or not approved for these initiatives. It's just to document that we had special case consideration. And when you've seen that, Anthony, you've seen that in some of our other BCCT documents. So here is the communications plan. The first week of the month, they should be submitting their business cases. The materials are reviewed and prepared. And when we say reviewed, we're only saying review from a perspective of, is the formatting correct? Is the document in alignment? They've used the right font, because you want consistent fonts in your presentation. So when we do the meeting prep and initial review, it's reviewing for formatting, not content anymore. So we want to have all the meeting materials updated by that Friday. We do a final review Monday morning and distribute the meeting materials that same day. So that's the day that the meeting materials and the meeting invite is updated. We have the BCCT meeting on week 2, and all of these communications go out no later than 24 hours after the BCCT meeting. It's either a formal approval, e-vote goes out, or the team is notified that actions are required, or they're notified that the project was not approved. And we do have those situations. We take week 3 to conduct follow-up to the e-vote, follow-up to action items, and then we also complete formal email distribution here. And you'll see this in the copies of the emails that I provided, who the email should go to and when the email should go out. And then, of course, special case out-of-cycle e-voting, it's no specific dates. As they come in, you just manage them. And Naren is fully familiar with that. This is just the detail of the plan, the activity, a description of the activity, and the cadence and the method of communication. So, for example, we send out a submission deadline reminder the last Wednesday of the month. we send an email to GPMs and PMs saying, hey, remember that this is the BCCT schedule. If you have any submissions, here are the deadlines. And I have created that grid, so you can just pop that grid in the email and just send it out. And we have examples of all of these activities and emails in this deck. So here's an example of the BCCT meeting invitation, and you guys have seen that. It goes to the BCCT meeting attendees, and it's set up for the second Wednesday of every month. And you guys have seen that in both the grid, and you've seen this invitation. You've been copied on this invitation. It is distributed, and I think I need to add that from here. They should be scheduled from the IT, sorry, from the IT EPMO mailbox, not personal emails. And so you guys see how I do quarterly scheduling. So at least 3 months out, the meeting is scheduled. And then this is the email for the deadline reminder that I just mentioned to you a minute ago. It goes out the first Wednesday of every month, and GPMs and MPMs are the audience. This is when you update the meeting invitation. So you sent out, we've got the meeting invitation scheduled from a quarterly perspective. But 48 hours, at a minimum, 48 hours before the meeting, you want to update the meeting invitation with the link to the finalized meeting materials and send it to the BCCT meeting attendees, which includes the BCCT members and any project teams included that are going to be presenting that day. This is a copy of the email that communicates, really it's the EVO email. It's saying that verbal support was noted. So during the BCTT meeting, we take a vote during the meeting, and we will sometimes gain formal approval or verbal approval, and they'll say, yes, this is verbally approved. We proceed with the EVO. For those efforts, you use this email to send the EVO. But for some initiatives, they're deferred for additional action. So
can you go back a little bit, Slater? Can you go to the previous one? Yeah. So if you look at the third line, right, third or fourth line, during the meeting, verbal support was noted for the project name. There is no project already for the business case name. You can remove the business case behind that. This is a duplicate.
Well, you just populate the name here. You leave the verbiage business case there. So it's for the XYZ business case.
Yeah, but you need to do that business case name and then the business case. That's what we are writing there.
So if the name of my business case is present X or XYZ implementation, note it for the XYZ implementation business case.
Okay.
And if during the BCCT meeting, additional actions were identified as necessary, you would send this. You would send this version. So you provide the presentation materials that were presented, and you hyperlink to the meeting notes, and you do an excerpt specifically related to that project. And you guys have seen this email as well. These are not new emails. I'm just documenting them here. And then if a project was not approved, project teams need to be advised as well that their project, we need to formally communicate that the business case was not approved. So these are just the formal communications. And then when we get Zishan's email saying that, you know, he's clicked approve, you attach a copy of the business case and Zishan's approval email response. So you just save a copy of Zishan's response, but you attach it to this and you excerpt the information here, the project name, the demand or project number, the total approved implementation cost, and we separate out capital costs versus O&M costs. So it is clear if a project has capital costs, capital determination is required. And this email goes to the project team and the EPMO management team, which includes Naren, Nicole, Leah, and Chris. This is a copy of the BCT tracker. I'm going to include a hyperlink here so that it's easy to get to. And Naren and Anthony, you both have seen that. Arthur, you have, but I'll share that with you. And I need to double check my link to the slides, so I'll double check these before I finalize the document. But all of the key documents and key links are here on this slide. And then there are some tips and tricks that are included that, well, I plan to include here. We'll see if I get an opportunity, but you guys already know all of that, how to locate the GPM and how to find the LOB, you know that. And if you can just get that information from ServiceNow. And I tried to include an FAQ, just incorporating some of the items that I've seen over the course of the past year that I've done it. So I tried to include that here. Naren, you may want to specifically review the FAQs to make sure that you're still good with all of it. And that's what I have there. So what I'd like to do is validate the links, and let me stop sharing here and show you guys where.
I think the other thing that we need to also include is the demand picture, right? How the demand, when it is created, how it is moved out the line, and what phase it should be there. That information is not there in this deck, right, Sarita?
No, because this is just the BCCT process. We have a how-to document, but I can add.
Yeah, provide that link, because these two are interlinked, right? A BCCT needs demand at a particular stage or a particular status. So there are interlinked.
I will include a demand slide.
Yeah.
I'll include a demand slide.
Yep, that's good. And then a link to that how-to document, I think that will help.
Yeah, I'll slide.
Okay.
Let me put this up. So you guys all know the IT EPMO calendar?
Yep.
But this is where the BCCT meeting should be scheduled from. Let me see. And you see that, where are my main meetings?
But how is this different from your regular Outlook, Salita? Can you go back to the...
Yeah. They are always, I don't see my BCCT meetings. I'm not sure what has happened to them.
When it was, Salita, last?
Yeah, see any of them here. Do you see that?
Let me see. Yeah, it should be on my calendar.
Yeah, I don't see any of the BC, even the previous ones. I don't see them. Wow.
When it was, any date, you remember the date, or maybe you change?
No, we should have the previous one should still be on the calendar, and the May one, the May 18th meeting has not occurred yet, but it has been deleted.
Oh.
See?
18th, but I see in my calendar. Yeah, it's there, my Zoom. I see on 18th.
I don't see it at all.
Something, maybe something you changed, like maybe removed from your calendar, something, no?
Maybe they've been, so I would recommend that the email that I sent out, and I'll resend it if I need to, which includes all of the BCCT meetings, that those get scheduled from the shared calendar, because I don't know what happened to the meetings that I had scheduled.
Uh-oh.
So
So,
that's,
Aarti, would you like to check how to schedule a meeting from the IT PMO
Yeah,
mailbox?
Naren, that I know because I do it for the PHR. So let me show.
Okay,
that. Yeah.
okay, got it.
So
Okay,
this
no, no,
is
as long
no,
as
no,
you
no.
know it.
Yeah. So because I do
Okay.
it for my
Yes.
monthly PHR. So see, Salita, this is your,
yeah, I'm not sure why it's not showing up on mine.
yeah.
And so you just saw that it wasn't showing on mine.
Right. I saw that. Yeah, but it's here in my calendar. So maybe Naren might be having
Okay.
like same too. So we can see that. Yeah.
No, I have it too, but
Okay. Good. But I know. Yeah, this is
Okay.
simply, yeah, this is simple. So because if you go on the calendar and then just select this, yeah, so we can set
so
up that.
let's focus on a couple of steps here, right?
Yeah, so let
for
me
the
start
May
sharing. Yeah. So,
May
yeah.
18th BCCT, Salita, because you have been handling it till now. So how many candidates are there?
I think there's only one right now.
So where do you maintain that information, that who is the intake candidate?
So the intake candidate is in the, usually I put them, let me share this. Oh, I'm sharing the wrong screen. Let me share. So usually you see the BCCT folder. Potential candidates are in this folder.
Okay, I think this should be a slight different approach, Aarti. What we can do is, as soon as there is an email coming from somebody saying that they want to join the BCCT, this should enter into the tracker.
Yes, I do. I enter it into the tracker, but usually I leave it. I move the email to this potential
That's
folder.
good. Yeah,
Things
so
have
because
come in.
yeah, in the tracker, the advantage is that we can maintain the status and shift it around.
Yeah.
Right.
So where do
it
we
should
have
enter the
tracker? Where do we have
Yeah.
tracker on this mailbox? Where?
Not on the mailbox. She has a
Not on the
BCCT
mailbox.
tracker, Excel
Oh,
file.
okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's going to provide the link to us. She can show that file anyway one more time.
I'll provide the link, and I'm going to hyperlink it. There's a slide in here, Arthie, for the BCC tracker, and I'm going to hyperlink it to this slide. I'm going to include a hyperlink to that right here so that you can get to it quick.
Okay.
That's a well-maintained tracker, Aarti.
Okay.
Only thing is, I think what we need to do is pick up the incoming proposals and BCs and add the data there.
And Naren, usually I do.
Right.
When it comes in, I add that tracker.
Okay. So that is point number one. So 18th, we have one candidate as of now, as Salita says. So now so if you have understood Aarti and Anthony, so what is our next step? Where are we on that case? Do we have the document, or when the document should come to us for review?
I have to, I think, go through one more time with this.
Yeah. This is exactly what I wanted to facilitate here. So we have a candidate where on Friday, which is 13th, we have a meeting on 18th to distribute that BC to our SLT members by Monday, correct?
Right.
Yeah, 3 days before,
Yeah, so this is the calendar that I think we can maintain, so easy for everybody. So by today, we should have had the final version from the team, right? The business case.
Right.
So do we have it, or do we have to follow up with them, Salita?
Let me look in my inbox, Naren, real
Yeah,
quickly.
yeah. Sure. I just want
Yeah.
facilitating the discussion here with Aarti so that they understand what
Yeah,
needs to be
yeah.
done.
I know I am pretty busy with PHR and all still,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, let me see
fine.
how much I can get it.
Yeah, and Arthi, I have no issue with helping get it's a real simple document. It's not anything easy to do. Hold on one second. Trying to find this.
Anthony, you should be doing these follow-up actions, please.
Yeah, if Anthony can do it, yeah. That will,
Yeah.
that
I think
can
he is
help,
good
yeah.
in following up with the people and getting to the final shape.
Correct.
And,
I think Tony, I think I copied you on the business case that was submitted. Let me search my inbox and I'll follow up with you guys on that and make
Alright.
sure that you have final document.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, great, thanks.
Can you share your screen, Salita, so we can see who is the GPM PM on that, or whoever has proposed it?
Find it. I'm trying to find it right now. I'm going through my my inbox and trying to find it. Let me go back to. I think I put it in this folder. Let me
So,
look for it real quick.
Right, no issues. While you're looking. So Anthony, this is our first exercise, right? So we have an immediately coming up BCCT on 18th. We should be having the final version of the document today. We should send that document for senior leadership team members on Monday morning. And we should have our meeting invitation updated. So there are the sequence of steps that Salita has written down. I think we can do that as an exercise for 18th. And this is a good way we can learn things.
Sure. Mhm.
Let me find this document.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'll put it to
Yeah.
somewhere. I'll find the document. What I'll do is I will schedule an opportunity for us to go through creating the meeting deck. I'll add the demand slide that you asked for, Naren. I'll go ahead and add that to the deck.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I will go ahead and schedule some time this afternoon for RC and Tony and I to look at how I create the document.
Right.
We'll actually
So-
walk through the document on the 18th.
So on Monday morning, Aarti, in our daily stand-up call, let us discuss this BC.
Yeah, and I will upload this recording on the SharePoint so we all can have like over the weekend maybe if we get time. Yeah.
So we need to follow up after we get the contact email from Salita that who has submitted it, and see that we send out just a reminder email that we need to submit this document in a final version. Hope you have it. We want that document if it is not already submitted. That is one. And on Monday morning, let us discuss next steps. What email should go? What update should happen from the PMO side for upcoming BCCT.
Right.
And Anthony, like I said, we from Monday onwards, let's take this as an exercise and do the groundwork.
Right, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to be a little out of pocket this afternoon, but certainly over the weekend, or I'll follow up with my emails later this afternoon, and we can definitely hit this first thing on Monday morning. If not, over the weekend, if you need to reach me, sure.
No issues. I understand.
Okay.
Okay, and also please check the demand, what state it is, because that is one of the prerequisites. If the demand is not in the qualified state, then I think that is another follow-up we have to do with the team members.
Yes, I'm copying you guys on note.
So let me stop recording.